Hey, hi, and welcome to the very first episode of Steve's Backyard Barbecue. I'm Steve, and that's Aaron behind the camera there. Today we're going to start in with a couple of pork ribs, as you can probably see by looking at them. Hope you can tell that's what they are. If Aaron set the camera up right. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to use a little bit of yellow mustard, and that's going to give the rub something to bind to, and it's going to stick instead of falling off and going all over hell and back. It's going to stick. Okay, now these are a couple practice ribs because I've done ribs before, but we're getting ready to do competition, and I'm going to do a couple different rubs that I have and see how they work out, and we'll see what happens. The first rub is actually our own rub that we made up, and I just put it in this other AP jar that I got from Malcolm Reed at Killer Hogs, and I used all his all-purpose rub up and made my own, and this just works so neat to distribute it that I put my own in his jar. But I do have some of his barbecue rub, and boy, that's good stuff, I'm telling you. So I'm going to use that on top of this, and we'll just give these a nice little layer of that, and then we'll hit them with this barbecue rub. And we're going to let them sit and get a little bit tacky, because they'll pull some of the moisture out, and that'll help form the nice bark that we want.
I'm trying to run away.
And Erin's packing a bag and running away from home, so she's going to miss out on the ribs. Send a postcard wherever you land, and I'll tell you how well they turned out. And now we're just going to let these sit just like this for a while, and then we're going to, right now I'm going to run outside and I'm going to put the coals in the pit barrel cooker, because that's how we're going to do these puppies. And I'm going to light the pit barrel cooker. That'll take about 15-20 minutes to come up to temp. And in the meantime, these just need to sit and relax right where they are. So we'll bring you back in a little while. Okay, the pit barrels come up to temperature. These have been sitting for a while. They're getting a little tacky. The moisture's coming out. By the way, these are Compark Duroc ribs. They've already got the membrane removed when you take them out of the cryovac wrapper. You just take them out, rinse them, pat them dry. Like you saw, we put the mustard on, applied the rib. They are ribs, dummy. We applied the rub. Now, the way the pit barrel works, life with a pit barrel is rather good and easy. You just hang your meat. So we've got these hooks. We're going to count out. Well, I've got enough room on this one. I'm going to go 3 bones. You only have to go 2, but I've got enough room. I'm going to go 3. And it'll hang like that. You want to grab your meat by the thick end, not the wide, the thick. Okay? So on this one, this is the thicker end. On this one, this is the thicker end. So we're going to go down just like that. All right? Follow me. We're going to put them on a pit barrel. Nowhere for the smoke to go in a pit barrel but up. And we're going to hang these just like this. And there you go. Put that on and we're cooking. Nothing to do now but wait and get ready to prepare the sides. Now we're not ready to start our sides yet because they don't take as long as the ribs. What we're going to do is when the ribs are about an hour and 20 minutes out, we're going to show you how we like to do skin on garlic, butter, mashed cheesy potatoes. Oh, they're so good. Proof positive there's a God and He loves us. Okay, I told you we were going to do as a side some potatoes. We're going to do skin on garlic, cheesy, mashed potatoes. Come on in here, zoom in, take a look. Can you see this here? This is a russet potato. You can tell by the elongated shape. This right here is the garlic. We cut each end and stuff the garlic. There's one for me, there's one for Aaron. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to chuck these into a preheated oven at 400 degrees. Okay, I did not wrap them in foil. I didn't put butter in them. You don't have to do that. You can if you want. Anybody that says you'll wreck your potatoes if you don't, doesn't know how to do potatoes. You can chuck them in the oven just as they are. I put the garlic in them. They're going to cook down 400 degrees for an hour. The potatoes will absorb all that garlic. And then when we're done, we're going to put them in a bowl with some butter. And we're going to cut them up into so that the skin comes out in bite-sized pieces. Okay? And we're going to add the butter. We're going to get it to the consistency we want. Then we'll add some cheese. It'll melt together. It's going to be fabulous. Like I said, it's proof positive. There's a God and He loves us. Talk to you when we're ready. Do these potatoes. And we just baked them in the oven at 400 degrees, a little over an hour. And we showed you before how we stuffed the garlic in them. Okay? Now what you want to do here is get the skin into more or less bite-sized pieces. And it just comes apart, as you can see, pretty fairly easily. And if you don't get it all into bite size, it'll get into bite size when you eat it. Okay? So, there's the potatoes. There's a little butter. Guess what? It's not quite enough. We're going to add a little more butter, which is all right because the potatoes have the temperature enough to deal with it. Now we'll cut this butter up into smaller pieces so that it melts better. And there it goes. Okay, just like that. And we're going to add some cheese. And if I pull it where it's cut and meant to be pulled, it's easy to do. But when you have big huge fingers, it's not always easy to separate There we go. The tops. Now, here goes some cheese. Come in with your camera, zoom in on here. Take a look at this. We're gonna cut the skins. We're gonna cut the potatoes. The butter's already cut and melted. Look at this. We're gonna melt the cheese. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna just stir this to get the consistency we want. Now, we could add milk or cream or what have you, and we could whip these into the consistency of sour cream. I don't like my mashed potatoes that consistency. I like some roughness. I like a firmer texture. I like this. And guess what? I'm making them for me.
And me.
And Erin. And she likes hers much the same way. Now, you make yours whatever way you want. Alright? Take a look at that. We're going to hit them with some salt. And yeah, you're right, I licked that knife. And some pepper. And guess what? When I spoon them out, I'm going to use a different knife. This one that I didn't lick. Okay. We need some plates. Alright, so we pulled these ribs off the pit barrel cooker, and they're done and ready. We have nice color, but it's overdone a bit. Now see how they're breaking apart right here? That means they're moist and tender. I can see moisture here. I don't know if you can on camera or not. Then the same with this rack. They're bending and they want to just come apart. Now, these are a little too dark to be turned in for competition ribs, okay? What I was testing really is the technique on how to prepare them. I want the tenderness, I want the moistness, I want the flavor. I'm okay that they're too dark, because what I'll do is when I do the competition or the next practice ribs, I will foil them, and that will prevent the smoke from becoming too dark, because right now they're too dark to be looked at. Food needs to do three things. It needs to look good, smell good, taste good. And when you enter a competition, you're judged on many different things. One is the appearance. And the appearance of these are just too dark to win a competition. Okay? So, like I said, when they go, they'll be foiled. And these win about 25 minutes too long. 20 minutes too long. See how they're coming apart? That means they're overdone. For competition, they're overdone. Most of your friends at your backyard barbecue will want them falling off the bone. A competition judge will not. So, while these are okay just to eat, they're not competition ribs. And I'm hitting the bone there. We'll edit that fucker out. Let's just grab one. Zoom in here. Can you see the glistening on the camera? That's juice. Okay? That's juice. You can see the red smoke ring? They're tasty. They're tender. They're tender. They're tasty. They're tender. They're not competition ribs. Competition ribs need to be, like I said, I'll do these. These went about 3.5 hours at about 300 degrees on the pit barrel cooker. These, if they were turned into a competition, should have been wrapped at about 1.5 hours. Hit with some butter, some brown sugar, some apple juice, some honey. They're great to eat. But for the competition, we need to do some tweaking. And we will. And this is our first video. Alright? This is our first YouTube video. So here's some potatoes for Aaron. And here's some for me. And, you know, if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell. You'll be notified of new videos as they come out. And if you like this, tell your family, your friends, and let them come join us. And if you don't like it, tell your enemies and let them come join us. Have fun. God bless. Good barbecue.